Alright, I'm in the garage again. 2 objectives for today. This, again, I haven't got a thermostat and my 200SX Ali Rad keeps it too cool. So I'm going to put a thermostat in, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to make something to go in here that can have my 1/8 MPT threaded temperature sender and a M14 by 1.5 threaded thermostatic fan switch, and then I can run my fans on the factory wiring and they all turn on by themselves. At the moment I've just run a relay with a switch inside the cabin, so let's get into that. Actually, first let me run you through the S14 rad conversion. If anyone's put a 328 or just any standard rad back on one of these engines, you'll know how much of a nightmare they are to bleed. And since doing this, I've never had any problem. So it fits in really nice, just in between the chassis rails. And all I've done, let me get a light. And all I've done is use 2 gearbox bobbins and TIG welded on some little alley brackets with some braces underneath, and then I've made two little brackets here to stop it going anywhere. Standard rad hose at the top fits, and the bottom one just needs to be cut and extended. That is a piece of CDS tubing I found at the time. I'm going to swap that to Ali at some point. And then all you got to do, you can see the little double jubilee clip. I've just made a little bung and blanked off the expansion tank tubing, and that is it. Right, so once I've got it jacked up nice and high, I just need to find an appropriate sized bucket to drain the water out of. So found a bucket, and I've just dropped this side down so this just fits under it, and then hopefully I'll catch the majority of the water. Next job, take this top rad hose off and then take this thermostat housing out. Now there are 1, 2, 3, I think there are 4 bolts, but you've got to loosen this top one as well to get this little lifting hook out the way. Cheers, nothing special. Let's just clean it all back up, get the thermostat in and bolt that back up. So it's fairly self-explanatory. I'm going to use some sealant around there. Quite simply pop the thermostat in and then put it back on. Simple. I'll tell you what I am going to use, which I always forget I've got. Air ratchet. Saves me doing half a turn every time with my fingers. So this is just an adapter. It's 38, it should be 36. This was a struggle getting these pipes on. I don't know whether I can just drill and tap the other side to fit a temperature switch. This is the wrong one. This is a later model with a different plug. But I just want to make it for now, so I haven't got to fully drain the system. Next time I just swap it and wire in the fans, or do I need to make something? So let's have a look. Right, so I devised a plan. So I'm going to cut my pipe back and cut a piece of alley tube to go in that leaves me a nice access gap, and then I'm going to cut a piece of this alley, it's about 8mm, and weld a square section on top, which will give me 2 flat surfaces to drill and tap my 2 sensors on. So let's measure up and cut. terrible sound. That is the easiest way to cut. Tubing, any tubing. Right, let's work out how much of this I need to cut. Actually, I'm missing a step first. Got to put these in and see how much I need. There we go. That. Weld that on. Nice big chunky alley weld all the way round. Should stick. I'm not the best welder, I'll just give it a go. So let's button that up and try it on the car. So you get the idea. I've just given myself a tube to join the pipes and a nice flat surface to drill and tap the two sensors in. I need a 12.5mm hole for the M14 and I need an 8.6mm for the 1/8 MPT. So I'm going to use an 8 because this is soft alley. That gives me a bit of leeway in case the internet's wrong. So let's set this up nice and square and we will drill some holes. I haven't played with this toy yet. They're not that expensive. I'm going to use it. I need it for that suspension geometry working out. As you can see, my table is 2 decimals out of 0. Close enough for me. Square enough for the job I'm doing. It all went a bit wrong when I was tapping it. I went too deep with the MPT because it's like a cone shape. So I had to TIG weld another bit of metal on just to have some material to tap into. But there's a finished article. Let's get that in and bead the rad. So I've jacked it up as high as I can, letting it get up to temperature. Keep squeezing all the hoses, no leaks. Let's get this thermostat open. Should open at 71. Oh, I got this from Lidl's not so long ago. Let's try it out. 38 degrees. Let's get in there. Just got up to temperature, a few air bubbles come out the rad, went up to 79, switched the fans on, started going straight back down. It's a 71 degree thermostat. I've got it slightly lower than normal, so if I ever do a track day it opens up a bit earlier. So yeah, no more piece of for sale sign in the grill with some holes cut in it to try and keep it warm in the cold weather. Another little satisfying job ticked off.